Hello everyone, my name is Matt and welcome back to another video. In today's video, I want to show you two walkthroughs. The first one is for teaching months, and this is actually an updated version of a lesson that's already in my store. I have made it much better and just a better version. I've added a whole bunch of different things to it, so I'm really happy with the way it turned out. And part two focuses on the ordinal numbers so that students can say their full birthdays in English. Okay, I figured out a while ago that many students cannot say their birthdays in English. They just know how to say the date, but they can't actually say it properly in English. For example, my birthday is on the 3rd of July. Students don't know how to say that and they don't know the ordinal numbers. So I'm really happy that I finally made this lesson because I just think it turned out really, really well. And I'm excited to take it into my own classes and use it with my own students and see how they react to it. So I'm really happy to share this with all of you, and hopefully you find it useful as well. And as always, if you want to download these lessons and teach them yourself, you can go to my store and you can very quickly download both of them, or you can go to Teachers Pay Teachers, you can find them there, or Taobao. Okay. As always, if you found this useful, please hit that like button. That really helps out my channel. Leave a comment if you have anything to say, and subscribe if you're new here. And yeah, let's jump into part one. Okay, let's have a look at this PowerPoint. So as with all of my PowerPoints, we have the intro slides, the rules, and a place to put your review, and then we jump into the lesson. So as I mentioned before, this was an older lesson. I think I started selling it in 2021, but this is an updated version, and I always wanted to make a part two where I actually taught the students how to say their full birthday. So that's the lesson I wanted to make, and that's part two, but I thought I should update this this one as well. Add some ideas of stuff I should add, so I've been wanting to do this for a while, so I finally got around to it. So let's take a look at it. All right, so first thing we need to know, or first thing we need to teach, is the word month. You can have your students write it down in their notebook and then ask them, how many months are there in a year? And they'll probably say 12, but of course we want them to say the full sentence. So there are 12 months in a year. Okay? And then we ask, do you know how to say all the months in English? Now, of course, you can just ask your students this, but it does help for differentiation for those students who maybe don't have very good listening skills to have it on the slide. Okay? When you ask the question, they can also read the question. Okay? This will really help. And this is just a note for the teachers, like what's going to happen on the next page. So you don't have to read that to them. You can remove it. I just wanted to have it there just for you. All right, so the first thing you're going to do is just see if they know them. Okay? You just want to see if they know. This is sort of a formative assessment to gauge how much they already know. Okay, so you can see that I already have Chinese here. If you live in a country where they don't speak Chinese, you can add their first language here. Okay, so you'll just see if they know. Call on students and see if they know. Okay, so you can actually click on each one and they'll pop up. So I should show you. So you can, if they think they know some of them, like they can tell you. Okay, they might not know all of them. Some of them might know like a song, so they'll just read them all out. You can point at ones individually and then see if they know them. And when you click on them, the English appears. Okay. All right, let's go to the next slide, and this is where we're going to begin to teach all of them. Okay. Now, in Chinese, the months are really easy. It pretty much just goes for like, you just say like the first month, the second month, the third month. Okay. You know, it's really, really, really simple, like month 1, month 2, month 3 type of thing. But in English, they're a lot harder. So even though this is for grade 3 or grade 4 even, it's important that they learn them. There's a lot of students that don't really know all the months. Like if you just ask them what the 9th month is, or in their first language, they might not be able to quickly tell you. They need to count through them. Okay, so this lesson will really help them remember which ones are which. Okay, so go through each one by one and have them first raise their hand and tell you if they know them, and then write them down in their notebook, and then practice their pronunciation, of course. So January, February, March, April, May. Obviously, you guys know these, right? I'll just say that I think that a lot of us take for granted that students will know this stuff. I know I've done that before with grade 5 even, just assume that they know all the months, and they don't. Some students know them, but many students, like I said, they learned it as a song, and they can sing the song, but they don't really know each month. And they certainly don't remember how to spell them. Pronunciation is going to be not very good. Okay, so it's important that even if you think they might know these, to reteach it. Okay, let's say them again. Just go through one by one. Okay, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. You'll notice that in all of my lessons, after I teach the words, I want to have them say them again, just one more time before we do anything else. Okay, and then there's a song here, the months chant. There's a bunch of different songs that you could do. I have a link here. We'll have the URL. You can find this. If you purchase this lesson, I'm not going to include this song in the purchase because I don't own the rights to the song, but I recommend that if you want to have a song, this is a good one. You can find it, download it, add it to the PowerPoint here. Or, of course, there's a ton of songs for the months. And singing a song is a really good way for them to remember and practice their pronunciation. But like I said, it's sort of, it can have an effect that you didn't really want, which is that they don't really know the months. They can just sing the song. So it helps for sure to help it get into their mind at first, like to help them memorize them, and the pronunciation and everything. And of course, singing a song is fun, but you gotta make sure they actually know them. Okay. All right. So the first thing after that we're gonna do is the quick say game. So you guys know I like the quick say game. Basically, I will say the month, they say the number. And this works really well with months because each month is associated with a number, especially in Chinese. So I'll say June, they say 6. I'll say March, they say 3. I say January, they say 1. Okay, it's a fun game. The whole class can play at the same time. You guys know I love the quick say game. It's a great way to drill. It's a way to drill in a way that's not boring, okay? Because it's the first student to say the correct answer wins. Okay, then you can switch it up and you say the number and then they say the month. So first, as always, you start by saying the new word, they say the number, which is easy. And then you switch it up and you say the number and they say the new word. Okay, first student to say it right gets a point. Okay, the next game is the appearing points game. So pretty simple. The students will go team by team and they will choose one of the months and they will say the month and then they will get points. So they can choose at random. So the first team chooses July. You can see July is 8 points. Then the next team chooses February. February is 5 points. Then the next team chooses December. December 6 points, and so on. So they just go around and re-say all of the months and they get points. The students really like this game. Okay, and the next game is the flying words game. In this case, it's the flying months game. Whole class can play at the same time for this game. One of the months will fly across the screen. First student to say what month that was will get points for their team, and then have the whole class say that month together. Okay, so August flies by. One student says August. Good job. That team gets points. Then the whole class says August. Okay, next one. December. Okay, that student gets points, and then the whole class says it. You can even ask the student who said it first to see if they can spell it. They can look in their notebook and just spell it to help get that spelling in their head as well. Okay, so April. How do you spell April? Okay, and then they spell it, and then the whole class says it, and then you move on. Okay, and then rinse and repeat with all the months. You can play this as a whole class, or you can play it. You can choose one student from each team to participate in the game, and then rotate around if you think it's too loud or it's just a little bit crazy having the whole class do it at the same time. It's totally up to you. Okay, there's no right or wrong way to do it. Okay, and then after that, we will go on to the next game. The next game is the choose a tile game. So students will choose one by one, they'll choose numbers. The way I do it is if they find, you can either do it, for this one, I think the best way to do it is the first student to realize what that flashcard is and say, in this case, May, will get points. I was going to do it a different way. There's another way you can do it if I put the flashcard just over, like for example, if you just put the flashcard like here, in like the small little corner, the first student to find the flashcard can get points, and then the first student to say what the flashcard is can also get points. You can also do it that way. But in this PowerPoint, the picture is quite big, so it's going to be easy to find it. Okay, so call on one student from one of the teams. They say one of the numbers. For example, they say 3. Okay, 3 is, there's nothing there. Okay, so you would go on to the next student. And this is also kind of a review of the numbers. So if you want, you can change these to 11, 22, 33, 44. You can make it harder. Okay, you can make it random numbers. So they have to say like 85, 74, whatever. You can make it more difficult. For this version that I'm selling, I'm just keeping it simple, but you can make it more difficult. Okay, so student choose 18, nothing, 11, nothing, 9, nothing, 15. Oh, okay, what's that? So again, if you want, you can have it so that the first student to find the picture gets points, like I mentioned before, or you can do it that once they find it, that student wouldn't get points for finding it, but the first student to say what the word is, or in this case the month, what month that is, will get points. So you can do it like that in this PowerPoint. I forgot that I made the pictures really, really small. Okay, so it's just this one corner. So you could do that as well. So the first student to find the picture gets points, 3 points. The first student to say what flashcard it is also gets points. Okay, in this case it's November. Okay, then rinse and repeat with the next slide. So next team, student says 12. Okay, they found it on the first try. So they can get points for finding it if you want. And then the first student to say what month that is can also get points. Okay, it's January. Okay, and rinse and repeat for the next slides. Okay, and we'll go to the next part of the lesson. Okay, so the next thing is a writing game. So pretty self-explanatory. What you can do is bring up one student from each team, put them at the front with chalk or a marker if there's a whiteboard, and then you show them the slide, okay? And they need to write, you can either have them just write that letter, okay? Or have to write the whole word, okay? So they would write J-U-L-Y. They have to remember the L. Or if you want, you can just have them write the single letter L, okay? So I have it here as a fill in the blanks, but you can have them write the whole thing, okay? Or, of course, since it is fill in the blanks, or it could be fill in the blanks, the first thing they do is, actually, no, that would be the best way. Just have them write the whole word. I was going to say something else, but that wouldn't make any sense. So the best thing to do here is just have them fill in, write the whole word, including the missing letter, okay? It's been a while since I played, since I taught this PowerPoint. But yeah, so you can just have them write the whole word out. All right, so the next part of the lesson, we need to teach the word think. I did include this in the old version as well, and I thought it worked really well. I remember teaching it back in 2021, and the students really liked it, and it really got them talking. So first thing you ask is, what city do you think this is? They're not going to know probably, so you can tell them. I have it there in Chinese and in English, okay? And the reason I'm doing this is because I want to establish where this city is kind of geographically, like that. I tell them it has a similar climate, similar weather to where I am, which is Nanjing. So it has a cold, like the winter months are in, November, December, January, February are cold, and then the summer is the same. So they understand that like the weather's going to be similar. If you're teaching somewhere like Thailand, you really need to establish that, some places like the trees look different, the weather is like significantly different in different parts of the year. It's not just warm all year. So I wanted them to know, okay, this is New York City. This is what New York is like. It's got cold winters, hot summers, so they understand. Okay, so what they need to do is look at this picture and try to figure out what month they think it is, okay? And then they tell you, I think this is March because the trees have flowers. Or I think this is April because it doesn't look cold or hot. You can tell by her her clothes. Like she's not cold, she's not wearing a jacket, but she's not wearing shorts. So maybe the weather is not very hot, not very cold. So I think it's this month. Okay, so it's a way to get them to talk. And then you tell them what it is. They really enjoyed this, especially when they got it right. You can have different teams guess. You can write their guesses on the board. Okay, so you call on one student, they tell you what they think it is, and the other team can say they agree or disagree or whatever, and then why, what they think, which month they think it is. Okay, some students in this case will figure out that, okay, this is for Christmas. Okay, these are Christmas ornaments. They're not going to know the word ornaments, but these are for Christmas, so it must be the month that Christmas is. Okay, you'll have some really clever students figure that out. Okay, so it is December. Okay, here they're going to look at it and look at the leaves, right? The leaves are changing, so they're going to think, it's in the fall. What month is it in the fall? So they're going to start guessing what month it is. So they'll tell you something. I think this is October because the leaves are changing. The leaves are yellow. Or I think this is November because the leaves are yellow. Okay, it's October. Okay, now there's snow. So they're going to start guessing the winter months. I think this is December because it's snowing. I think this is January because it's snowing. And the key is you want them to say the sentence, to speak, in a sentence. I think this is, and of course it's kind of blocked here by me, but you can see it has the sentence starter, right? I think this is January because it's snowing. I think this is December because it's cold. Okay, so again, this is sort of for differentiation to help them come up with the proper sentence structure to answer this question. So it's January. Okay, and then continue on. Okay, one by one. There's different clues here. There's school buses. Okay, when would there be school buses? And yeah, they would figure out September. Okay, same thing here. Rinse and repeat through the rest. For one like this, they can look at the clothing that people are wearing and determine that it's summer. It's hot outside. So what month is it? Okay, it's July. Okay, and let's go on to the next part of the lesson. Okay, so the first thing that they're going to need to tell you on this slide is how to translate this into English. Okay, if you are not in China, you can change this to a different festival or different holiday if you think it'd be easier. I think that most people around the world know the Chinese New Year, so it'll probably work. That's not really important here. The most important thing is what we're teaching here, which is do they use on, in, or at? Okay, so what month is Chinese New Year on? What month is Chinese New Year in? What month is Chinese New Year at? This is a really difficult thing for most ESL students. Okay, on, in, or at in many different contexts can confuse them. So even with students who are pretty good at English, they still make mistakes with this. So I really want to nip this in the bud and try to teach them this from the start. So show them this slide, see if they can figure it out. Which one do they think it is? Take a poll of the class. You can even write down how many students, like have them vote for which one they think is correct, and then show them the answer. Okay, so it should be in. Okay, for months we say in. What month is Chinese New Year in? Okay, this is quite difficult for them to remember. So let's nip that in the bud, and for the rest of the lesson, they'll be using this, okay? And then now we see, okay, what month is Chinese New Year in? And I have 4 different choices. Now, each one of them has 2 different months because the Chinese New Year falls on different days every year. So sometimes it's in one month and sometimes it's in another month, okay? So once again, this is kind of a quiz. Students really like quizzes, okay, in class like this. So you'll notice that a lot of my lessons have quizzes like this, and I think if you're creating your own lessons, include quizzes. They really enjoy them, and it gets them thinking, and you can assess their prior knowledge through the quiz. So it's really useful, okay? So the answer should be January or February. Okay, and then go to the next one. So do you know what months these other festivals are in? Okay, so go to the first one. First thing, you need to see if they know how to say this in English. Okay, it's Christmas. And then, what month is Christmas in? And there's 4 choices there. I'm blocking the choices. Let me move myself to the other side for this. Okay, so is it December, January, November, or October? Okay, I think many students will know this, but the key here is, okay, move myself back. The key is that you want them to say the sentence. Okay, Christmas is in December. Christmas is in December. Emphasize the in December. If you want to do the action for in, you can, okay, because they need to remember this, okay? So I'm going to say it as many times as I can. Okay, the next one is Thanksgiving. What month is Thanksgiving in? 4 choices. Take a poll, see if they know. Show them the answer. Everyone says the sentence together. Thanksgiving is in November. Okay? Here we go with Halloween. What month is Halloween in? And the answer should be October, which is being blocked by my face here, okay? We want to get our students to answer and complete sentences as often as possible, and also by presenting it this way, we are testing their prior knowledge and getting them to think, do they know how to say it? Do they already know it? Okay, so constantly trying to push them and give them little quizzes and formative assessments throughout the lessons, okay? And last one is Easter. Easter is one of those holidays that falls in different months, not on different months, in different months. I was going to say on different days. That would also be right. Every year. Okay, so it should be March or April. Okay, and then we go to teaching part 3. Okay, of course it's the word birthday. Okay, birthday. And in my old lesson, the old version of this lesson, I had this in here. I changed a little bit. So I was, even though that old lesson was advertised as, I think I called it like months of the year or months of the year birthdays, whatever, I wasn't actually asking or teaching them how to say their birthday. I was just teaching them how to say what month their birthday was in, okay? Because teaching what day would require the ordinal numbers, which is something I didn't teach them before, which is now part 2 of this two PowerPoint combo, okay, that go together. So in the first lesson, we're not going to get into the ordinal numbers. We're just going to have them say what month their birthday is in, okay? So what month is your birthday in? They can practice. My birthday is in, okay, July. That's my birthday. My birthday is in January, okay? And then they're going to play the bullseye game. So with the bullseye game, you can either have them use a sticky ball or like a Nerf gun, and very simple, okay? So you bring up, on the board, draw a bullseye, and then you will bring up a student, and the whole class will ask them, what month is your birthday in? And they have to say, my birthday is in July. My birthday is in, okay, really emphasize the in, July, and then they throw the sticky ball at the bullseye based on what they hit. If they hit a 5, the center of the bullseye, they get 5 points. And another thing I do is on the floor, I'll set up different spots. So really close to the board is just 1 point, okay? And then there'll be a different line which is further away from the board, maybe like one big step further back would be 2. And then one more big step back would be 3. So if they're standing at the spot that's really far away at the 3, and they hit the 5 on the bullseye, it would be 5 plus 3, so they get 8 points. If they decide to use the second line, which is 2 points, and they hit a 3 on the bullseye, it would be 2 plus 3, so they get 5 points. So you can do it this way to make it more interesting, and also have it easy enough that students who are really bad at throwing or shooting the gun can still, hit the board at least. So you can have them stand at the really close one at the 1 line. So it's like 1 point line, 2 point line, 3 point line, okay? And at the 1 line, they would throw, and if they hit a 1, it's 1 plus 1 is 2, or if they hit a 5, it's 5 plus 1 is 6, okay? So that's just a different way that you can do it. But if you do want to do this, play this game, don't forget to bring a sticky ball or bring a gun. I mean, worst case scenario, you can have them roll up a piece of paper and throw it, but that's not going to work that well, I think. It's going to be hard to throw it. And also to know where they hit on the board, on the bullseye. Okay, so my recommendation is have a sticky ball with you at all times anyway in your teacher handbag, toolbox. Okay, all right, let's go into part 2. Okay, so before I even show you part 2, I just want to make everyone aware of this. So there are 3 different ways that you can write the date depending on what country you live in. Okay, so I made 3 different slides and you only need one of them. Okay, so before you teach your lesson, you need to figure out which one you need and remove the other 2. Okay, so you can see slide 51 is for countries where they write the date year, month, day. Okay, if you write the date this way where you live, delete slide 52 and 53. Okay, same thing for this one. If the country you live in, they use day, month, year, delete slide 51 and 53. Okay, and same thing for slide 53. If that's the way they write the date where in where you live, okay, in this case it'd be the United States, then delete slide 51 and 52. Do not go into your lesson, into your class with all 3 because you don't need them and you're really going to confuse your students. So when we get to those slides, I'll say it again and I'll show you what I mean. But definitely make sure to take notice of that. Okay, otherwise there's going to be some confused students in your class. Okay, so as with all of my lessons, we begin with the rules, introduction, and then the review. In this case, the review is the appearing points game for the months because that was the main focus of the previous lesson. Okay, the months. So you can hear my daughter crying in the background. Sorry about that. They can choose a month and they can get points. Okay, and then the word birthday, of course, and then the main part of the previous lesson. Okay, so what month is your birthday in? We're focused on the word in. Okay, we use in for month, and you can call on some students and have them tell you, my birthday is in February, my birthday is in July, my birthday is in November, and so on. Okay, and then we will go into the main part of this lesson, which is teaching the ordinal numbers. Okay, the ordinal numbers are quite difficult in English, so I'm going to spend some time teaching this. Okay, so of course, if you live in China, you don't have to change this. If you live in any other country, you can change this Chinese to Spanish, Arabic, German, Russian, French, whatever. Okay, and we're going to go through and teach and drill the first 10 ordinal numbers to start. Okay, because obviously these are the ones they're going to be using the most in most situations, and then when they're saying the date, they're going to also need these first 10 as well as all of them up to 30 first, but let's just go through the first 10. Okay, so it's first, second, third. This is quite difficult, right? It's hard pronunciation. It's going to be hard for them to remember. Okay, so really drill this and have them write it down in their notebook. Okay, and then of course after that it's fourth, fifth, and for these we need to emphasize the pronunciation of the TH. So fourth, fifth, fifth. It's quite difficult for Chinese students, and I think in many countries around the world they might struggle with this. Okay, and you're going to teach all the way up to 10th. Okay, you can go through and drill, have them write it down, and then let's play our first game, which is the bouncing words game. So one of the ordinal numbers will bounce, and the first student to say what it is in English will get points. Okay, so fourth. Okay, and here's how we play. So with a game like this, you can play with the entire class at the same time, or you can call on one student from each team and have them participate. It's totally up to you. Okay, so you'll show one of the ordinal numbers, and if you're playing with the whole class, the first student in the class to say second will get 2 points or 1 point for their team. Then have the whole class say second, okay? And then go on to the next one, okay? So rinse and repeat for all of the ordinal numbers and just get them to say them. So as with most of my games, as with all games with ESL classes, you're just trying to get the kids engaged and excited about learning English, okay? So I've tried to think of a bunch of different ways to make this interesting so that they want to focus and learn and participate in the lesson and not be afraid. Okay, that's important as well. Not be afraid to speak English because it's a game and it's fun. Okay, all right, let's go to the next part. All right, so teaching part 2. Of course, now we're focused on the rest of the ordinal numbers, but I'm not going to go through and teach each one all the way up to 31st because it'd be quite boring. So what I'm doing is focusing on the ones that are difficult. Okay, in this case, it's 13th. 13th. This is difficult. Okay. 15th, okay, because 11th and 12th, it's just 11 and then th. 12 and then th. So 12th, 11th, okay? This one's 13th, 15th, and 20th, okay? 21st, 22nd, okay? I want to focus on these because these are the hard ones, and the other ones we can practice later, but these are the hard ones, so let's focus on them. And of course, there's also 23rd, 25th, 30th, and 31st. These are the ones that are different, okay, and that need to be focused on. The rest of them are easy, so I don't want to spend as much time. So really focus on the pronunciation of these, have them write them down, and yeah. Now let's say them all. So now you've focused on the hard ones, and now you can go through one by one and say them together as a group, all the way 11th, all the way to 31st. Okay, say them all together. You can point at them, have them say them. I have some students try to say them. Yeah, and then we're going to sing a song. I found this song, Jack Hartman Kids Music Channel. This one's really good for ordinal numbers. So I have a URL here. You can copy and paste into your browser, and you can sing the song with the kids. It'll really help them remember the ordinal numbers. Okay. Now let's go on to the quick say game. So again, this is very basic. You can play with the whole class, or you can just choose one student from each team, show them, in this case it's in Chinese, but again, you can change it to whatever language you want. If you purchase this PowerPoint, it will be a PowerPoint. You can edit it, you can do whatever you like to it, okay? And the first student to say the ordinal number here, in this case it's 14th, will get points for their team, okay? We have 5th, 17th. Again, this is just a way to get them to drill. That's more interesting than just showing them a flashcard. It's just more fun, okay? And go through all the way to the next part of the lesson. Okay, teaching part 3. So the first word we're going to teach here is the word date, okay? And then this is where, this is what I was mentioning before, okay? So there are 3 different slides. You need to only use the one that's relevant to the country that you live in, okay? So if this is how they show the date in your country, where you live, where you're teaching, this is the slide you'll use, and you can delete the other 2, okay? So this one is year, and then it's month, and then day, okay? And here what we're teaching them is how to say this in English. So it should be the 28th of April, 2025. The 28th of April, 2025. I'm going to move myself up here, okay? And then you can see there's also this way of saying the date, okay, which would be day, month, year. Again, we say the date the same, but they write the date. They might write the date this way, okay? So you need to choose the one that's for the country you live in, okay? And then, of course, there's this way, okay? So it's day, month, year. Okay, the 28th of April, 2025. Okay, so based on where you live, please select the one you need and then delete the others. Okay, and then of course we're going to review how to say the date. So what is today's date? Today's date is, and then you say. So today is the 24th of January. That is today's date. And then after that, after you teach this to them, you can take this slide and put it in all of your future lessons for the rest of the semester, and then have them tell you the date. Okay, so this is something that you can take and review as part of your warm-up, so that they can say the date. You can even add the day of the week in there, right? If you want, like today is Monday, okay, whatever day of the month, and then the month, okay? So for example, today is Friday, the 24th of January, 2025, okay? So that's what you can do. And then, yeah, it's useful language for them to learn and remember, okay? And then to further help them practice, we're going to now talk about how to say the date of, before we get to that, we need to, in the previous lesson, you'll remember that we talked about how to talk about, we taught them how to say, in the month, okay? So my birthday is in July. We talked about using the word in for the month. Now, if we're talking about a day, which one do we use? Okay, so then this gets more confusing now for them. Okay, so is it what day is Christmas on, what day is Christmas in, or what day is Christmas at? I promise you, most of your students don't know this. They don't know, and they're going to be confused. They're going to be guessing. They're not going to be sure. Okay, so it's really good to teach this, explicitly teach this. Okay, so it should be, what day is Christmas on? We say on for days. Okay. Okay, and here you can, again, drill. So now you can test their knowledge. So what day is Christmas on? What day is Christmas on? Is it the 15th of December, the 25th of December, the 26th of December, or, blocking myself, the 5th of December? Okay, now we're doing two things here. The first thing we're doing is drilling this question so you can hear it. Day something is on, what day is Christmas on? And then now we're reviewing and practicing the ordinal numbers. The 15th of December, the 25th of December, using this word of, okay? Getting that into their head, the structure of a month, not for. Many students will say for, okay? And see if they know. Maybe some students know, okay? And they'll be happy to share that they know that it is the 25th of December. Okay, and then you can say the sentence. Christmas is on the 25th of December. Okay, and then how about these festivals? Do you know when these festivals are? How about this one? Halloween. So what day is Halloween on? Okay. And of course, Children's Day. Okay, the 1st of June. Okay, and then let's talk about birthdays. Okay, so one thing I like to do is I like to show just different examples so they can see it a few times before I ask them to talk about their own birthday. Okay, so I have 4 different characters here. So this is Sarah. So she'll say, my birthday is on the 6th of May. Okay, and they'll just see the structure. The more times they see the structure and say the structure, the quicker it'll get into their head and into their memory. Okay, so go through each one and just show them, okay, on the 8th of August. And you can have them ask the question every time, right? When is your birthday, Kate? I have each question there. You can say, when is your birthday, Alex? He says his birthday. When is your birthday, Kate? And you can have a single student read Kate's birthday. Okay. When is your birthday, Mark? Okay. My birthday is on the 28th of June. And just see the structure as many times as they can. Okay. And then we'll have them do a quick writing activity. This is sort of a formative assessment to see if they have mastered this. Okay, so they should write the date. They can see there's an example here. So there's December and a 2. It should be the 2nd of December. Okay, and have them do 1, 2, and 3. Okay, 1, 2, and 3 on their own. Give them a few minutes to write the answer. See if they can do it. Okay, and then check the answers. So you can call on students to tell you the correct answers. Okay, it's not difficult, but it's just a way to assess. Did they follow along? Do they understand? And you can walk around the room while they're doing this and check their understanding, see who's struggling, see who did it really quickly, see who maybe needs more help. It's just a way to assess their, like how well they're picking up what you're teaching, okay? And then you're gonna have them write their own birthday. Okay, so my birthday is on and have them write their own birthday. And you can call on some students to tell you, or even come up to the board and write their own birthday if you have time and if you want to do that. Okay, it's important that you do have them write this down because in the next part of the lesson, they're going to be saying their birthday. Okay, in the game, so they need to they need to know their birthday. They need to actually remember it. Okay, some students don't really know their birthdays that well. Okay, so here's the way this works. You will call on a student. So first, you'll bring up a student to the front or have them stand at their seat, and you'll ask them, what month is your birthday in? Okay, so first they just need to say when their birthday, what month their birthday is in. Okay, this is exactly what they learned in the previous lesson. Okay, and then you can see there's directions on the bottom. It says click on the month of your birthday. Okay, so they will say, for example, what month is your birthday in? Now, I'll just do my birthday. So my birthday is in July. They click on July, and now you can see all of the ordinal numbers here. So they should say, well, I will say, my birthday is on the 3rd of July. My birthday is on the 3rd of July. And then I will click on my birthday, the 3rd of July, and I will get 8 points. Okay? And then you will click here to go back. Okay? Bring up a student from the next team. What month is your birthday in? and she says, my birthday is in April. Click on April. And then she says, my birthday is on the 20th of April. Okay, she clicks on the 20th and she gets 2 points. Okay, and then go back. Next student. What month is your birthday in? My birthday is in November. In November. Okay, make sure you emphasize if they say it wrong. And then he says, my birthday is on the 25th of November. 5 points. Okay, and then go back. And then rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. Let each team have a few different goes. And if it turns out that, you know, a student has the same birthday as another student, and they also come up and, like, for example, if someone also has the birthday the 3rd of July, they can just get the same points again, 8 points or whatever. Hopefully they won't lie to you and they'll be honest, that especially if it's a big point number like that, that they actually have that birthday and they're not just trying to cheat. Okay, hopefully other students know that's not right. That is not, they don't have the same birthday. Okay, most students will know that these two students have the same birthday, so they won't be able to cheat. Okay, and that's how you play this game. Okay, and I'm really happy with this lesson, because I really wanted to make a lesson like this to teach them how to say their birthday, because it's something that I ask the students from time to time. When I talk about my birthday, then I ask what their birthday is, and I found that students in grade 4, 5, even some students in grade 6 can't say their birthdays. So it's something that I've been wanting to make a lesson dedicated to for a while, and I'm really happy that I did this. And I think it came out pretty good. So yeah, I really hope you know, you find this to be a useful lesson. Okay, so yeah, that is the whole lesson, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. Okay, I really hope you found those 2 lessons useful. If you did and you want to teach them in your own class, don't forget you can go to my store and you can download both of them very easily, or you can go to Teachers Pay Teachers or Taobao. And as always, if you found these useful, please hit that like button, subscribe to this channel, and leave a comment below if you have anything to say. And I will see you in the next one.